Alright, hey, hi, hello. How's it going, guys? My name is ZetaRayZod and welcome back to more Suzerain. Before I begin, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell on to stay up to date on all my latest videos. Okay, so last we left off, let's just look at my turns. Right, okay, we mainly just focused on more of the confirming the draft for the Constitution. So my main concern moving forward would be to get it through Assembly and then to get it through the Supreme Court of Justice, which would be the more difficult one because Assembly shouldn't have much issues because we kind of have the reformists on our side. They shouldn't disagree with what we have, and we kind of hold the majority of number of seats, so I'm not too concerned there. What else did we do? We had a meeting with the NBC, the National Business Council, if I'm not mistaken, and what's his name? Walter tried to bribe me again for something like, I think like a tax cut for private companies or something like that. And I don't mind. I just don't want to get bribed, but I just want to see how that goes. Okay, I think I already read that, and I think I already read this as well, right? I think I did. Okay, but anyway, yeah, I think the next thing we have to do is the budget allocation. That's gonna be tough. Okay, because right now I'm at 0, and my concern is that, like, at what point, because I feel like if we reach a certain level that it might affect our country. So I don't know how far I can go, but let's see what happens. Nearly half a year has passed. Oh, that was actually pretty fast. Welcome everybody, great to see ya. Okay, Peter, Gus, and David won't be here. That's fine. What's Gus actually? Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development. Okay, that's fine. David's foreign trade, foreign affairs, I think. Yeah, foreign affairs and trade. So he doesn't really need to be here for the budget allocation. Actually, I'm not sure how many ministries am I doing. May the Lord be with them. You just roll your eyes at me, young lady. If I did, it's because religion has no place at a government budget meeting. I was merely expressing my wishes for a successful trade deal. Freedom of expression must be protected at all costs, must it not, Miss Mornia? Actually, in this case, I agree with Sia, Miss Valda. Oh. According to sort of laws regarding the separation of church and state. Okay, yeah. Yep, okay. I'm not gonna comment. Please use religion at the Moon Palace gates. Yeah, I'm not gonna comment. You do whatever you want, y'all, as long as you do your work. Thanks to assignment expertise, not assignment. Let's begin, Mr. Hall. Gladly. Today's a big day. We must prioritize our spending wisely in order to achieve the goals we set as a government. While maintaining enough political support, if I may add, promises were made during the election. There are 3 options regarding the budgeting of the 4 main branches of the government. It's either we increase, maintain, or decrease the funding. Increasing will result in an improvement of the branch, which will unlock new policy options. Maintaining will keep the funding, resulting in no visible change. Decreasing causes a loss of efficiency in that branch. Okay, sure. Can we rely on the private sector to support us? I'm sure we can do that to a certain extent in some branches like education and health. Okay. Universal healthcare system must be protected and not be tainted by private greed or interest. I kind of have to disagree. Because there's only so much the government can do. There's nothing wrong with private healthcare to a certain extent. I'm sure because some people can afford it, and in certain cases as well, private healthcare could be a bit more better, depending on, I don't know, depending on how much money they have, I guess. We need to be considerate when making such grand choices that have ripple effects. Sure. Let's be careful as to what we fund, so we have resources remaining for another investment project. Okay. Should keep true. As much as we realistically can. If we fail at improving our economy, the promises don't mean much in the big picture. Before we begin our discussion, there's one more thing that I want to voice my opinion on. As we manage the government budget, we are obviously able to go into debt to invest in different branches. Although debt is a possibility, under these circumstances, it would dent our financial system, worsening the economic crisis if we push it too far. Okay. Point for me as well to everyone before the discussion, given the current state of the country, the economic situation is a political priority right now, more so than ever. This budget will also be applicable to our entire term. It's very critical that we plan correctly. Let's begin then. Okay. I think I made a promise about education, right? So let's talk about education first. Our education system is lacking, not only in funding, but also in modern curricular principles. Our outdated curriculum is wasting our youth. That's the reason why I advocate two things: an increase of the budget to improve access to education in rural areas, and a new education reform. To be honest, Swartland is lacking compared to Arcasia and United Contana when it comes to education levels. The backbone of any country is its people, and we need to protect our future. We need to ensure new generation is as well educated as their counterparts in more modern countries. Lilia's nonsense. Swartland is still here because of this very system that you insult. She's pretty old school, isn't she? I kind of have a feeling that I'm gonna have beef with her sooner or later. Yeah, we'll see. Will be compared to other countries. Swartland is Swartland. Agree with Lilia, Swartland. Nah, brah. I must also remind you that we promised that we were going to focus on education during our campaign. Okay. I have to agree with Ciara. Yeah. I think Lilis is a bit too old thinking. She's kind of old guard. Let's talk about healthcare. Our healthcare system is vast and provides free services to most of our citizens. However, the quality of our health services is far worse in low-income and rural areas. Therefore, I think we should receive more funding to address this disparity. Investigation numbers are not good. If you don't increase spending on health services, we at least need to maintain it. Otherwise, we're putting lives at risk. New analysis of what would happen if a pandemic struck. If our healthcare facilities remain in their current state, the death toll will be unimaginable. Crap. That kind of seems very pointed, actually. Like a pandemic's gonna happen. Not even talking about the damage to the economy. This is a matter of life and death, and Mr. President, and it should be treated as such. Yeah, what else are we here for if we can't keep our people alive? How about law enforcement? I would like to have an increase in the funding of law enforcement to increase the size of the police force and raise salaries. We have so many internal threats to tackle, and I'm already stretching my units far too thin. Okay. Law enforcement is clearly a high priority. However, I feel tackling internal corruption is of far higher importance than increasing our police presence. Directing the funds to my department will solve the problem at its root. If corruption is so rampant, all the police in the world won't help us. We need a specialized anti-corruption police unit, which we could create if the funds were directed to me. That's actually also a good point, because if there's no point hiring more police officers if they're just going to be forced, if they're just going to be corrupt or forced into corruption, you know, to, I don't know, deal with the peer pressure, because if he's the only one not taking bribes and stuff, then he's going to get vilified in the law enforcement industry. So I kind of have to agree with Nia about if I were to give her the budget, it would probably be for the anti-corruption police unit. I agree. Okay, so Ciara and Nia seems to be like gal pals. We will not reward a structure that is responsible for an ever-increasing number of human rights violations. Okay. Police is here to serve and protect the people. More funding will allow us to take care of our police forces. Sorry, Lilius, I have to disagree. I agree with Nia. How about military? Yosef, this is the only one I don't think I'm going to be increasing. Because my budget's at 0. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Remember it coming whether we like it or not. If not this year, next year. If not next year, the year after that. Mr. President, you and I have a shared responsibility to protect this nation from its enemies, and I intend to do so until my last breath. I'll say this with certainty. If Rumberg doesn't make a move against Swartland in 2 or 3 years, my name is not Yosef Lancia. Yosef is beginning to lose control of the volume of his voice. There can be no argument against increasing the budget for our army when there is an enemy on our doorstep, waiting for us to make one wrong move. That's kind of that's funny. Because it's wrong and wrong. Anyone who thinks otherwise is a fool. Mr. Lancia? Right. Pardon my theatrics, sir, but this is a serious matter. The future of our country is up to you, Mr. President. Well, here's an argument. The armed forces does nothing but eat away financial resources destined for our people while stoking fears for an upcoming war. The issues with Rumberg can be solved diplomatically. Agreed. What kind of message are we sending to them and the whole world when we suddenly start ramping up our military budget? They're ready to defend our nation, Miss Walda. Exactly. Okay. More, need to be as diplomatic as possible. Yeah, for show, for show. Very good talking points from everyone. Well then, time to make the decision. Shit! Okay. Decrease. No. Okay, look. Oh shit, this is tough. Because what he said is very pointed. I have a feeling a pandemic is gonna happen, and because If I don't increase, I'm gonna be so screwed. I don't know. I don't want to get my budget too low. I'm gonna... I don't know. Okay, wait. Let's see if I do what I want to do. Health goes up, education goes up, and law enforcement goes up because I want to focus on the anti-corruption police. I feel that's a good idea. Military, I'm gonna maintain. If I decrease, no, I'm gonna maintain. Okay, -3. I feel like that's not good. I don't know how far we can go. I feel like -3 is a bit too much. So what do I want to focus on? Health and education is a must because that's what I promised. So it's either between, right now it's health or law enforcement. I don't know, this is so tough. I'm kind of leaning towards more law and enforcement, specifically the anti-corruption, because I feel like that would help. Kind of like make everyone more peaceful. But then again, I feel like the game's gonna throw a pandemic into my gears and just like screw everything up. And if I don't increase my budget, then we're screwed. Or do I live with the fact that we have -3? Unless I decrease the military budget, but then Yosef will get pissed off, and then I feel I'll get cooed, because he seems I'm towing the line with him already. I don't want to go to war, and if I decrease his budget, he's gonna be so pissed. I don't know. Well, do I increase my final budget to -3 and then hopefully, I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll see. Wait, I need to read more. I don't know. Country overview, economy, welfare. Political mismanagement. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Voluntary vaccination. Okay. I don't know. Okay, you know what? No. I figure. Okay. Because they did mention that I can privatize the healthcare or the education minister stuff, right? So I think what I'll do is I'll maintain health. I'll increase for education, increase for law enforcement, maintain for military, and then maybe down the line I'll get some options to privatize healthcare, and maybe that will help. I don't know, but okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know. Okay, let's start law enforcement. Okay, thank you for this decision, Mr. President. I knew you would see reason on this, considering our internal security threats are at an all-time high. I still disagree with Ms. Graff on how the money ought to be spent. The increased funding is certainly a step in the right direction. Any statements on the matter, sir? Law enforcement is a key branch and needs greater budget to decrease threat and need for security. Sure. We'll make good use of these new resources and fight crime, terrorism, and subversives. Justice will be served in this nation, and having more support is a step in the right direction. Minister of Education. Increase of funding is very welcome. We can finally go after some comprehensive improvements by building new schools and improving the education system. Surely a well-funded and larger Ministry of Education would benefit everyone. Our future depends on our children. Education is the first step in the fight against ignorance. I agree, 100%. There you go. Education is our future, not be sidelined. Thank you. It's great to see positive change in attitude of the administration for the first time in a decade. Military. Joseph. It's a shame that the military won't be getting an increase. I will have to make sacrifices to maintain our defense. Okay. With your talent and experience, you'll overcome the issues our military faces. It will be harder to do so, but I shall find ways. It is my duty. Okay, how about Benny Wall? I can't say that maintaining the funding is negative, but I don't think our services will perform any better. Welfare must remain a priority for our term. There's no other way around it. Okay, Ciara, do you want to take the hit then? Jeez. Your opinions were noted, Pascal. Your task is to improve the care in the country. It's best we continue our funding as it is. We'll have, yeah. Which will be very difficult to accomplish without an increase in funds. Sorry, Pascal. I'll figure it out. I just don't want to. I don't want to go too low. Each minister will approach you with their respective policy requests and expectations over the next year. Perfect. Okay, that should. If I can privatize healthcare, then that would be great. Not completely, just maybe like, partially. Regardless of what happened, I will be here about you. Don't forget that we are a TM. There we go. Okay. Shit, that was tough. Okay. Report. Okay, what do you have to say? Yep. Okay, are we done? I think we're done for this turn. Let's go. I feel like I hope I didn't mess up. Oh, new chapter. Perfect. New Swordlin. Oh god. If a pandemic hits me, I'm gonna be so pissed. Especially before, if privatization of healthcare actually helps, I don't know. Okay, what's going on in news? Lakavian League of Women March. You go, girls. Equity withdrawn by a large group of conservatives. Well, what do you have against, like, giving women rights? I don't understand. Why don't they deserve the rights? That will literally help the economy in the long run, and it's just basic human rights. Why would you deprive a gender of, of rights? That doesn't make sense to me. Offshore drilling. Yeah, you're just gonna piss off Valksland, man. Military equipment's outdated and needs replacement. I don't have the funding, bro! You're gonna have to suck it up. Workers' rights. Establishes a minimum wage. That's good. Maximum of 60 hours of labor. That's not that good. That's actually 12 hours of labor per day if you're working on weekdays. Double overtime pay per hour after 40 a week. Section 4 determines the workers are to be protected against occupational hazards and be provided humane work conditions. You'll be heavily fined by the government, and if not corrected, you'll face legal action. If I sign, it's -1 government budget though. But this is a good... Shit. What turn am I on? I'm on turn 3, huh? I don't know. Is there a way I can increase my budget? That's what I want to know. Because this is... Screw it, I'm gonna sign it. My budget's at -3 now. I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, turn 4. It's turn 4 already? Okay, cool. Evening walk with Monica. Frank was at friends and Dino was at an art class. Okay. Our favorite place for a stroll was the nearby Capitol Park, the largest green space in all of Holsword. Before the children were born, we had spent many an evening engaged in deep conversation along the riverside promenade. Another favorite path wound through the woods behind the presidential housing complex, a private pond where the children could swim in the summer. I was told that Sol himself had it built. Benefits of being a president. Monica met me by the door, and we put on our coats and hats. I was going to suggest we walk towards Seoul Square, but the guards told me it's been closed for yet another protest. I wonder who they're protesting this time. Must be those damn communists again. It doesn't matter, they're two sides of the same coin. Yeah. You always did believe yourself to be above the fray. I was young and stupid. Funny how becoming one president changes one's perspective. In any case, where shall we go? I'm not sure Capitol Park is a wise idea in this climate either. Ooh, I don't know. Should we go Capitol Park? Nah, it's not worth the security risk. Let's just stay here. I agree. Let's go then, before the children get home. I informed the guards about our route and we left the house. The guards followed at a discreet distance as we headed towards the walking trail. As we entered the woods, Monica broke the silence. So, how was your day? Paperwork, endless meetings, the usual nightmare. I don't know. I imagine some might find that stimulating. I hope yours was better. I was fine. I caught up with some reading while the children were at school. Just outside the gate, I glimpsed Ioannis Krona, the former Minister of Justice, walking towards Capitol Park. I remembered that Nia Mortna used to be his vice minister. He simply noticed us as he walked by. Ioannis had once fought hard and strong against Seoul's judiciary reforms, but after years of government blocking his every move, he gave up on his ideals and became part of the administration. What their ideals really mean if they can be changed so easily? What about the people we idolize? Evelyn also came round for tea. She says hi. She was feeling rather low though. Apparently she and Peter had a bit of a disagreement. Peter's in the doghouse again? How did it happen? Apparently Peter had too much whiskey as usual and didn't behave when Evelyn's father was over for dinner yesterday. You know Peter, what do you think of this? Perpetually pickled. I'll have a talk with him. Good. Evelyn seemed close to tears. Being married to Shrew like her may get into a bottle. No, aren't you glad you and I don't have those kind of quarrels? Oh no! She didn't say anything. She has, but she's just not saying anything. You know, Evelyn hasn't been the same since what happened to her in the Wholesale Post last year. You remember how she got fired for supporting Alfonso? Peter tried everything to get her job back, but it didn't work. Sad day for journalism and free speech in Sortland. Completely agree. Sad day indeed. But enough about the veterans. I also spoke to Janice on the phone. Which Janice? From Friends. Chandler! Who? Yeah, who? You remember? My friend from university? We were in the sordid literature class together. A few years younger than me. Red hair. Scar on her forehead. We had dinner with her and her husband once or twice. Neither the name nor the description rang a bell. I still don't remember her, but go on. Anyway, she's been working as an executive assistant at the Violet Pictures film studio. She recently became pregnant and asked her boss for paid maternity leave. And guess what? She was fired for it. What the frick? Looking at the cost from standpoint, obviously they don't want to lose money. Can't her husband provide for both of them while she raises a child? No, that's not the point. That's terrible. I know, I was beside myself when she told me. And that's not all. They immediately replaced her with a younger, less experienced man, the son of an executive no less. That's utterly ridiculous, yeah. I happy you agree with me. As it happens, another friend works for a television station that's hiring a secretary, so I connected the two of them. That doesn't solve the deeper problem though, yeah. That's just putting a band-aid on like a stab wound, you know? Exactly, I knew you'd be on the same page. Women in this country are still seen as wives and mothers first, human beings second. How messed up is that? Isn't that weird? They're harassed at work, underpaid, blocked from positions of power, and those are the lucky ones. The fact that there are still places in this country where little girls like Dina are denied the right to an education. Go on. These little girls and people like Janice need someone to speak on their behalf. A role model, successful women. We had reached the pond at the end of the trail. A park bench overlooked the water. Monica gestured to it and we sat down. Which brings me to my point. I know that the mayor of Enrica Curtin Lest. What's going on with him? Speech. My wish is to take his place in civilian speech instead. Huh. Start his career, Benfey's car mayor personally invited him to make the opening speech. Replacing him with Monica would likely anger him, not enough to cause a major incident, but enough that he might not support me in the assembly. I want to base the speech on women's rights in Sortland, on the oppression and discrimination we face every day on the basis of our sex alone. I want our voice to be heard, and this festival is the time to do it. I just need your blessing as my husband and the president of Sortland. Screw it. You have my full support. Women's rights, man. If one guy doesn't vote for me and he brings like 5 others, that's fine. I'll try and convince everybody else. But I feel like human rights, you know, like especially like women rights as well, I think it should be It should be protected, it should be maintained, it should be enforced. Because I don't see, again, I don't see why, like, I just don't understand why you're, just because based on a gender that you have, that you're deprived of specific rights. That just doesn't make sense to me. That's why I love you. Thank you, Anton. You have no idea how much this means to me. One way or another, I want to contribute to this country no matter what happens. We're not weak, Anton, but we're only strong as long as we stand by our ideals. Damn straight. Like, why are you depriving... I'm still ranting about this, but why are you depriving of, like, if you're gonna assume, like, let's say maybe 50%, like, let's say half of the population of Swartland is actually women, like, why are you depriving 50% of capable people that can possibly work, can possibly contribute to society, and you're depriving them of their rights to work? Because they could actually provide for the economy as well as other things. So, you know, why wouldn't you support it? Otherwise we'll end up like, who's Jonas Corona? Oh, Colonel Sol? Say what you will, but that relic of the past was, and frankly still is, one of the most idealistic people in Swartland. Guess again. Jonas? Exactly. He backed down on his ideals and now everyone knows him for what he actually is. Spineless. Yikes. How'd they remember me? Whatever he had done, whatever ideals he had lost, he must have had his reasons. Would they remember me as a true patriot? Or a reformer of the country? What would they write about me in the history books? Let's get back to the house for dinner. Of course, lead the way. Marcus smiled. You know, I believe I will. When we arrived home, I called my secretary Olivia and asked her to inform Mr. Leslie that Monica would be making a speech in his stead. Yep. I'm gonna make some enemies over that, but you know what? I don't give a shit. Yep. New law on workers' rights. Damn straight. I feel like that is so important. Workers' right bill signed. Surprise move. Something right for his citizens by signing. Yeah. This was a publicity move after the terrible Morbel. Alright. People died there. Move to give more rights has been welcomed by many. Of course. Definitely. Arcasian soldiers in Lesbia. Smolak. Welland. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to Welland anyway. Doesn't matter. Explosion dire. Jesus. People are dying left and right. Budget allocation, law enforcement. Perfect! Let's talk about this. Okay. Elias was absent. Oh, good afternoon, Mr. President. Elias will be late. Apparently there's an urgent matter at the Ministry of Interior that she had to attend to. Shouldn't take long. What's the urgent matter? She said something about supply distribution for the police forces? Nothing major. I returned to my reports and Nia smoothed back an errant strand of hair. There's an awkward silence. While we wait, why don't we have a little chat? This might come off as a little strange, but I am proud of you. Despite everything, you're actually trying to reform the country. It's we, Nia, not me. Yeah, I couldn't do any of this by myself, so no, I'm proud of you. Well, thank you. You certainly have a way of words, don't you? Haha! I'm a word master. Words are just words, actions are what's important. You see me doing well at both so far. Pros are cancelling out the cons for sure. Hopefully, because my budget's a -3, I don't know. Just lean forward. How are you really holding up, Anton? Being the president, I mean. Sorriest thing I've ever done in my life, but this is the best thing I've ever done in my life. It feels like the whole weight of the country crushes me down every single day. That's kind of true. Everyone wants to be president until they are one, I guess. I want to assist you in the country as best as I can, and to do that I have an idea. We need to eliminate the worst problem we have, corruption. So finally you come to the point. Okay, how do we do that? It's high time old guards in the Supreme Court stop holding the country in the palm of their hands. That's why I want to form a new unit, the Anti-Corruption Police. That is my idea. Oh, so what if the Anti-Corruption Police got corrupted? What then? I'm still figuring out the details myself right now, but of course there will be safety mechanisms in place. Also, one more thing about Lilius. I wouldn't trust her if I were... She barely finished the sentence before we heard a knock on the door. Nia almost jumped in her chair. Okay, Mr. President, Nia? I hope that I'm not interrupting your conversation. No, not at all. We were just discussing a few things. Sorry for being late. There was an important matter at the ministry. Just a small dispute about who should get the supplies, nothing major. Okay? Well then, let's go straight in. We will provide a brief update on the situation of law enforcement. Go ahead. Nia? The Ministry of Justice and the Supreme Court is working in close collaboration with the Ministry of Interior to address the protests in the country. I must add that thanks to the hard work of the judiciary, the law enforcement forces assigned to my ministry are doing their jobs efficiently. I would call it the success of our forces on the ground, not due to the judicial branch of our government. Lydia shot at Nia a brief withering glance. Side-eye. So much side-eye. As expected, the budget increase has boosted morale of my employees and the law enforcement agencies. In these dire times, my people and Nia's people are especially delighted. This came as a pleasant surprise to many in the Ministry of the Interior, since it was not even one of our campaign promises. And for that, all I would say is bravo, that was an excellent decision. Agreed, at the Ministry of Justice we are very happy with the decision as well. The backlog of the court cases are dwindling, and we have started to fulfill the needs of the current situation. Certainly a step in the right direction. I did what was expected from me, that's all. Yeah. Hold on, let's move on to what we are actually here for. Due to budget increase, we can start doing much more as the main branches of security in Sortland. However, a decision has to be made about the budget balance between the Ministry of Interior and the Ministry of Justice. Exactly, when deciding you must look at the bigger picture, I believe you'll make the right choice and pick the Ministry of Interior. Why should I pick Ministry of Interior? Ministry of Interior is a much more significant and important government agency that is in need of the funds, especially during these times when there are many protests in the country. Good luck prosecuting criminals or going through local government laws without enough judges, Lilius. Okay, what if I decide to balance the budget between Ministry of Interior? Let's call it MOI and MOJ, okay? Balancing the budget won't help us much. The current situation clearly demands a decisive choice to be made to benefit the nation. I agree, we need to focus on one ministry to achieve tangible results. Of course, what would make the most sense in the current situation would be to support the much neglected Ministry of Justice that would improve the legal system in Sortland. Tell me, Nia, who brings the criminals before the justices? Let me answer. The police forces connected to Ministry of Interior. How about Ministry of Justice, MOJ? Each day the stacks of legal cases are piling up for judges. Cases for corruption and criminals are delayed due to lack of funds. It seems to me that is an organizational issue but not a funding one. The Interior needs the money more from police and local governments. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with MOJ. I have to agree with Mia. Lilius makes a good point where, because there's a lot of protests and like a lot of political unrest going on right now, that she would need more people. But at the same token, what's the point of hiring more people, like I said, if they're gonna get corrupted anyway? Like we saw previously, I think maybe in the previous couple of episodes, where we saw that two police officers actually kind of like tried to hire a guy to burn down a bakery, if I'm not mistaken, that was held by one of the political groups. I can't remember which one. So I'm gonna have to go with MOJ. Bad decision making. Shut up, Lilius! The right choice. It was time that MOJ gets the funds it needs. Okay, let's return to Ministry to implement necessary changes. Very well, see you soon, Lilius. I need to have a few words with Mr. President. Here's my proposal. Corruption has always been a major issue with any government. It is the root of all evil. That's why I'm proposing the formation of the Anti-Corruption Police. As a sub-branch of MOJ, the ACP will be given full authority by the presidency to investigate corrupt government officials and citizens. This would especially come in handy when dealing with corruption in higher positions. The Supreme and oligarchs that meddle in politics are just a few examples. If you accept, this will give our administration the ability to deal with corruption quickly and decisively. Very well, form the ACP. Excellent, I will start the prep work. You're making good decisions after good decisions today, Mr. President. I'll be in touch. Perfect. We'll see what happens. Protesters target secret symbols. Come on, guys. Richter calls president to action. Shut up, man. I'm working on it. Talk about need for educational reforms. I am doing that. Calm down, sir. Regional investment decision. Shit. -1 government budget. I don't have the money for this. I don't have the money. I can't invest. No money. No budget. Sorry. I don't want to go. I'm not going to go any further than -3. So if I get, I don't know how I'm going to increase my budget. Maybe taxes, I guess. BFF bombs police station. Are you sure? I'm giving so much doubt right now. I feel like... Ooh, tax system. We're at the top floor of the business council meeting, which had a great view of the... Oh, I looked outside from tall glass windows. Cargo ships. Yep. Door opened. Simon, Mikhail, and Edith entered the room. Mr. President? Mr. President, so nice to see you again. Good afternoon, Mr. President. I forgot the voices I gave them. Great to see you all again. Sounds bad. Collecting these documents. Okay, Mr. President, before we start, I would like to mention some rumors that I heard. Workers' Right Act did not sit well with many business holders, especially the first section about the minimum wages. I heard the same. This has caused these businesses to lose millions of rents just overnight. Unfortunate, really, especially during a recession. What is unfortunate was that this bill was enacted this late. There you go. Shut up. I'm doing this for the people, not for you. So you can make more money, huh? While the poor just get poorer and the rich get richer? No. No. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for their work on our tax system reform. We all know how complicated our current system is, and this work wouldn't be possible without you. The ultimate goal here is to end the recession. Before we move ahead and start formulating a plan, we need you to determine our direction, Mr. President. Okay? Here we can increase, maintain, or decrease the taxes for large corporations. I believe some of us in the room have a few strong opinions about this. In parallel, we can increase, maintain, or decrease the taxes for small and medium businesses. Let's start with large corporations and we'll move on to small businesses. Okay, what's the outcome? It's not an option at this point. Our economy is in shambles. That's right. I'm gonna increase for sure. Taking what's remaining from the business will destroy the economy further. So we can't do it? It's not a possibility unless if we try and balance it with tax decrease for small and medium businesses. I do not advise that though. I do believe there is one way to get out of recession is through the trade and the economic contribution of large corporations. Increasing the taxes will turn them on you. I'll go a step further. Increasing their taxes will have disastrous results and it will make you an enemy of them. Trust me, Mr. President, nobody wants to make an enemy of them. Goes both ways, David. Of course. Is there any downside to keeping things as they are? I'm of the opinion that if we don't make any changes, nothing will change. To stop the recession, we need to do something. So you bastards want me to change something, but you don't want me to increase the taxes of the large corporations. What if we decrease them? It's not an option at this point. Our state is broke. So, Simon, you're not helping at all. Are you saying that I can't increase and I can't decrease it? We could balance it by increasing the taxes of small businesses. I see. I'm not sure if that's a good idea in the current state of the economy. I think it's a great idea. Me too. Should have them on your side on top of solving the recession crisis. Is that everything we should do? I don't think we do anything at this point. Although I would prefer a decrease in taxes, it doesn't seem to be possible. Yeah. Social trade is different mostly by the products of these corporations. They're the backbone of our economy. Increase should be out of the question. Shit. I'm gonna have to increase taxes for large corporations. That doesn't make sense. I feel like that seems like the logical option. I'm just gonna do that. We'll increase the taxes for large corporations and balance it, decrease for small businesses. Because small businesses are struggling more than large corporations. I feel like the larger corporations are more able to handle the taxes. We're making a mistake. Shut up, Mikhail. Edith. It's gonna have outrageous effects down the road. Enough. The president has made his choice. Well then, I've taken a note of our action and I'll put it into implementation as soon as possible. We'll be giving people some relief by enacting tax breaks for small and medium businesses, and there will be an increase for large corporation taxes, which will help us sustain our balance. Good. Good work. Yeah, screw y'all. Screw y'all, man. Screw y'all. Tax cuts for small and medium corporations. Yeah. Okay. What are people saying? Denies allegations. Yeah. Keep talking. Use calls for peace. Good. Increase our uncalled for. We are in a deficit. What do these people not understand? What do you want now? What the hell is she talking about? What do my country problems have to do with you, huh? Stupid. Okay, so just having a look at this anti-corruption law. Yes. Good, look at this. We're getting some good stuff here. Efficient justice system. Yep. Limited women rights. I can solve that. Just wait. Large corporations downsize. Downsizing and leave a large number of citizens unemployed. Shit. No, I felt like I had to. I didn't have a choice. I feel like I didn't have a choice. Peaceful protest? At least we're getting peaceful protests. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, school. Prestigious Torrent Hill School situated close to suburbs. Okay. Lucian, Sierra, and I got out of cars. Yep. Apart from our guards, at least 10 reports following us around. That must be the principal. Right this way, sir. Principal's a man. Literally, his name's Principal. Stopped by security guards. Patting down. That won't be necessary. Let him through. Mr. President, such an honor to meet with you. Just shake his hand. I don't give a shit about the reporters. Welcome to our humble school. Sorry about the security guards. It's good to be here. Excellent. You must be Mr. Galad. Pleasure to meet you. Miss Walda. Good. So good of you to come all the way out here. Thank you. School's motto was on the wall in giant letters. I'm not gonna. Okay. Thanks, Principal. Education is the premise of progress in all societies and all families. Nice. Walk through the gates. School band started playing as we entered. Oh, wow. It's more like a military institution than a school. Exactly. That's why we pride ourselves on. Discipline is the utmost importance in our school. Some discipline never hurt anyone. Yeah, I guess some, but not all. We need more educated people, not soldiers. Oh, on that we are aligned. I can assure you that our students are very well educated. In fact, our school is one of the top 10 middle schools in all of Swortland. Now we watch the students take their daily student oath. Okay. I am a sword. My strength lies in my blood. I will respect our honorable elders. I will protect the young. My life belongs to Swortland now, and it will belong to it forever. I will always follow the guiding light of Colonel Soul and the Great Swords. What? Of Colonel Soul and the Great Swords. I don't want to clap at that though. What do I do? I'm just gonna nod. Yeah, good job. I almost forgot the words. Which proves the uselessness of this oath. No one even remembers it after they graduate. If you wish to follow me, we'll take a look at one of our classrooms. Sure. Sit down, please. Yeah. Sat down. Same boy and girl walked up to us. These are our top students in our top class. This year's my son. Oh, hey. Tell Mr. President what you want to be. Mr. President, I want to be a general, sir. I'm ready to sacrifice myself for my country and you, sir. This is nonsense. What are you teaching to these students? I don't want to be rude to him. I'll do whatever I can to not let that happen. Thank you, sir. Squeeze. Yeah, I don't want to, because I don't want to put the principal on the spot, like in front of his son, in front of all the students as well. I feel like that's not good. Pat him on the back. Okay, camera's flashed. This is simply ridiculous. You raise soldiers here, not students. I'm so sorry. I'll immediately perform disciplining your actions. How about you, young lady? What do you think about this? She's a top student in the school. Excellent grades are too. I didn't ask you. Ciara is very feminist. Good for her. What do you think about your school? Just between us girls. I'm sick of having to knit and sew while the boys learn science and chemistry. What? I'm smarter than all of them. Why do I have to take these stupid handcraft classes? Shh, do you know who you're talking? Shut up. Let her speak. Damn straight. My math and reading scores are the best in the school, but they won't let me take the classes I want just because I'm a girl. I want to be a scientist, not some soldier's wife. You heard her, Mr. Principal. You make the necessary changes at once. She whispered at once. I will personally check back and ensure that the changes are made. Yeah, what the frick? Trying to pretend like you're all goody-goody, huh, Mr. Principal? Jeez. Cameras flashed once again. Looked around the classroom, saw a large portrait of Colonel Soul. I'm not gonna take that down. Because while, you know, he was a bit... Wait, let me just check again. I just want to confirm, because it's been so long since I remember what he did. What did he do again? I don't remember what he did. Yeah, okay, the reason why I'm not gonna take that down is because he... Yeah, he was the founder. Because I want to give him the benefit... Oh. Most controversial? I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and just say that... You know, I believe that in some cases, maybe for Colonel Soul as well, that they do have the people's... You know... What's the word? I want to put my words together. I would say he cares for the people, but in his own way. Some people might not agree with him, like how people don't agree with what I'm doing right now. So because you see, he invested heavily in infrastructure, healthcare, and police forces. So I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not gonna take down his portrait because he was an important figure in our history. For a warm welcome, Mr. President Lucian, please go ahead. I would like to speak with the girl alone. Very well. Thank you for visiting our school, sir. Come on, class 1, 2. All students in the classroom yelled, but the boy whom I met was the loudest. Wow. Vector sister. Somebody talks about prayer language. Kisaro Kibener. What do you want, man? Standardized language of prayer to swordish in the entire swordland. Oh, stupid. Oh, good. Education. Let's do this. We still got time. We'll do this reform and then we'll call it an episode. After the visit yesterday, I couldn't even sleep thinking about that little boy and girl. I've never been more sure of my intentions to reform our education system. I agree. It's necessary. Those students have to repeat that same soulless propaganda every single day. They're brainwashed in an age when their minds need to be free. On top of that, young girls are denied the same opportunities as boys. They're forced into the role of housewife before they even reach puberty. Nothing's changed since I went to school. Women like me, Lilius, Nia, even your wife, it's like twice as hard to receive the same university education that you and Lucian took for granted. Is that the kind of country you want your daughter to grow up in? Mr. President, we need to bring change. We need to free the minds of these young people. They're our future. Very well. What do you need to do for an education reform? Yeah. We need to keep politics out of the curriculum. Soul should only be viewed as a historical figure. Children should have to repeat his name every day. Actively poisoning young bright minds instead of thinking for themselves. Okay? I'm sure boys and girls receive the same instructions. Handcrafts like knitting and sewing should be taught that both sexes are not at all. Swordland's youth must be technically skilled and capable for the next decade. It won't be possible with the amount of nationalistic indoctrination and narrow-minded thinking found in schools today. Either we raise a generation ready for the challenges of the future or not. What will it be, Mr. President? What do you think? As much as I respect Colonel Soul, his time has passed. Now is our time. I do think this might be the first step of a larger plan. Yeah, reform it. You will not regret it. I'll get to work immediately. Now that the decision was made, let's move on. Very well. Okay. After the budget increased, the ministry quickly began formulating plans on how to effectively use the money. But before moving forward, the question of keeping education fully state-funded or allowing for new private schools remain open. What's the benefits? Make my opinions clear, I'm against it, but it would give us additional funds for education while increasing competition. It would support our overall economic strategy promoting market economy. Enough money to improve education solely, we do not need to complicate things further with privatization incentive. I have to disagree. Privatization. Will do. That should be it for now. I'll get to work and report back later. Yeah, I guess she wasn't that unhappy because I gave her a lot of money, so she's like, whatevs. That's good. Okay, thank you for your time. Okay. Perfecto. What nonsense do you have to say about me this time? Oh, my budget went up. Oh, that's because I privatized education. Perfect. So if I privatize a healthcare, that should bring up my budget as well. Demonstrates that vets is arrested. Why would they arrest it? Rain is making a mistake. Shut up. Better. By working together, Victor, better. You're so nationalistic, man. Perfect. Look at welfare. Education gap. Okay, we're working on it. Wait, what? Privatize leading to an educational gap between the rich and poor in education. What? No. That shouldn't be the case. But oh well. Okay, let's read this and then we'll call it an episode. Improve education reforms. Perfect. Gloria Tori. Oh. Who's that again? Nakatana. Second satellite. Ooh. Gloria Tori plan reforms. Oh, I think she's the one I have to convince to get the constitution going. Okay, great. I'll leave this episode here. Great, perfect. I was concerned that my budget would be so screwed, but but it seems it worked out just fine. Damn it! If I knew this was the case, I should have invested in an economy. Oh well, never mind. I mean, I wouldn't know what would happen, right? So that's okay. Workers' rights are maintained, so that's good. But I didn't invest in a region, so I'm not sure if that's gonna come back and bite me in the butt. But that's the decision I made. Maybe it'll come around and I can do it again. But I guess that's it for this episode. So in the next episode, I guess we'll focus more on trying to convince her to support our constitution. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Gloria is one of the conservative MPs. So if I convince her, I think that should actually help me quite a bit. Because I'm not too concerned about the more open ones, because they technically should agree what I have. But yeah, in any case, if you like what you see and you like what you hear, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell on so you stay up to date on all my latest videos. As always, be safe, take care, and I'll see you next time. Peace!